Hello dear friends, I'm Alder Santos, and welcome to our channel, Baseball Legends. Among the giants who marked the history of the New York Yankees, there is one name that, although it didn't receive as much spotlight as some superstars, was fundamental in building one of the franchise's most victorious eras, Tino Martinez. Quiet, dedicated, and efficient, Martinez was far more than just a replacement for past idols. He was the heart of a dynasty that dominated baseball in the 1990s and early 2000s. But what makes his journey so special? Why, even without constant media glamour, did he earn the unconditional respect of fans, teammates, and opponents alike? Get ready to discover the fascinating story of a player whose impact went far beyond the numbers. Tino Martinez's career is a true testament to the power of resilience, ethics, and quiet hard work, qualities that shaped his path from the fields of Tampa, Florida to the bright lights of Yankee Stadium. With a steady presence at first base and a bat that lit up the stands, he starred in moments that became part of baseball history, especially in the playoffs, when pressure peaks. His clutch hits, including a memorable grand slam in the 1998 World Series, weren't just isolated plays, but fundamental chapters in a saga of perseverance and excellence. This is the story of how a player without the spotlight transformed himself into a quiet legend. Watch this video until the end and tell us, which Tino Martinez moment surprised you the most? Leave your comment below and share your stories and memories of this Yankees icon. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Tino Martinez is how he became a symbol for a legion of fans who see him as the perfect example of what it means to be a Yankee. Determination, humility, and unshakable dedication to the team in the game. In this video, we'll explore the behind-the-scenes of his career, the moments that defined his journey, and the lasting legacy that keeps his name alive in the memories of those who see baseball as more than just a sport. Get ready to discover why Tino Martinez is, to this day, an unforgettable figure in the heart of the Bronx and in the world of baseball. Tino Martinez was born on December 7, 1967, in the sunny city of Tampa, Florida, a region known for its strong tradition in youth baseball. From a young age, Tino was immersed in the sport, influenced by his Cuban family's passion for the game. His father, who had also played amateur baseball, was a key figure in his development, encouraging Tino and his brothers to dedicate themselves to the sport. As a child, Tino already displayed above-average talent, playing in local leagues with older kids and standing out for his strength and technique at the plate. This early skill quickly made him a standout in the regional scene, and he was soon considered one of the best young players in the area. During high school, Martinez attended Jefferson High School, a school known for producing baseball talent. There, he established himself as a star both offensively and defensively, showcasing his skills at first base and demonstrating remarkable maturity on the field. His performance attracted the attention of college scouts, who saw in him an athlete with real potential to reach the pros. However, instead of jumping straight into professional baseball after high school, Tino chose to continue his education and refine his skills at the University of Tampa, a decision that would shape his future in significant ways. At the University of Tampa, Tino Martinez solidified himself as one of the most dominant college players in the country. Playing for the Spartans, his offensive presence was simply overwhelming, compiling impressive stats and drawing attention from MLB scouts with each game. During his time in college baseball, he not only led his team to multiple victories but also collected individual honors, including All-American selections. In addition, he represented the United States in the national baseball team, competing in the Pan American Games and the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, where he won a gold medal. Even though baseball was only a demonstration sport at the time, these International experiences expanded his competitive resume and increased his value as a prospect even further. His college performance culminated in his selection in the 1988 MLB Draft, where he was chosen in the first round, 14th overall, by the Seattle Mariners. This pick reflected the recognition of his talent and the hard work he had put in throughout his youth and college career. Joining the Mariners organization, Tino brought with him not only impressive numbers, but also a reputation for dedication, humility, and passion for the game. His journey, from Tampa's sandlots to prestigious college stadiums, laid the solid foundation for a professional career marked by achievements and deep respect in the baseball world. Tino Martinez made his Major League Baseball debut in August 1990 with the Seattle Mariners, the franchise that had invested in his talent by selecting him in the first round of the 1988 draft. After a solid stint in the minor leagues, where he showcased a consistent bat and reliable defense at first base, Martinez arrived in the majors surrounded by high expectations. He joined a young, developing team that was beginning to build a promising core with players like Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, and Jay Buhner. Even as a rookie, Tino displayed maturity on the field and a strong work ethic that earned praise from coaches and teammates. His calm and focused demeanor stood in contrast to the intense pressure of making a name for himself at the highest level of professional baseball. During his early seasons with the Mariners, Tino Martinez faced the common challenges of many young players, adjusting to the faster pace of the league, facing elite pitchers, and meeting the constant demand for performance. However, he progressed steadily, becoming a reliable piece in the lineup and improving year after year. By 1992, he had secured the starting first baseman role and began to consistently show his offensive power. His swing, smooth yet powerful, allowed him to hit with authority to all fields, making him a constant threat to opposing pitchers. 1995 was a particularly remarkable year for Tino Martinez in Seattle. That season, he reached new heights as a hitter, with 31 home runs and 111 RBIs, helping the Mariners clinch the American League West title, the first postseason appearance in franchise history. His contribution was crucial during the epic ALDS series against the New York Yankees, one of the most memorable of the decade, which was decided in 5 games. Tino's solid performance throughout the year strengthened his reputation as one of the best first basemen in the league at the time, combining power at the plate with reliable defense and tactical intelligence on the field. That offensive explosion in 1995 caught the attention of several teams interested in acquiring his services, especially the New York Yankees, who were looking for a replacement for Don Mattingly, who had retired at the end of that season. The good relationship between the Seattle and New York organizations made negotiations easier, and in December 1995, Tino was involved in a trade that brought him to the Bronx, despite leaving the team that developed him and where he had made his name. The move represented a massive professional opportunity. Wearing the Yankees uniform meant tradition, visibility, and the constant pressure to win championships. Tino Martinez's time in Seattle, though relatively brief compared to his years in New York, was critical to his development as a player. He matured both technically and emotionally, learning to meet the demands of the league and maintain a high level of performance. In addition, he was part of a generation that changed the Mariners' fate, turning the franchise into a competitive and relevant force within MLB. Tino left Seattle with gratitude and recognition, carrying with him the experience gained in a challenging environment full of opportunities for growth. In retrospect, Tino's years in Seattle were the foundation of his MLB career. There, he evolved from a college prospect into a respected big leaguer, developed his identity as a power hitter and solid first baseman, and experienced the thrill of postseason baseball for the first time. His move to the Yankees would mark the beginning of a new phase, one that was more victorious and filled with spotlight. but it never diminished the importance of the city and the franchise that believed in him from the start. It was in Seattle that Tino began writing his MLB story, with determination, talent, and an undeniable love for the game. Tino Martinez's transition to the New York Yankees in December 1995 was one of the most defining moments of his career. After an outstanding season with the Mariners, Tino was involved in a trade that sent him to the Bronx, along with Jeff Nelson and Jim Messier, in a deal that brought Russ Davis and Sterling Hitchcock to Seattle. The move was not only geographical but also symbolic. Martinez was leaving a rising team to take on one of the most iconic roles in MLB, first baseman for the Yankees, a spot recently vacated by Don Mattingly, a fan favorite and revered franchise leader. Replacing a player with Mattingly's charisma and legacy meant inheriting not just a position on the field, but also a deep emotional responsibility to an intensely demanding fan base. From his earliest days in spring training, Tino proved he was up to the challenge. His calm, professional demeanor and relentless work ethic quickly earned the trust of manager Joe Torre and his new teammates. On the field, Martinez made it clear that he intended to be judged by his own performance rather than by comparisons to Mattingly. He understood the pressure of playing at Yankee Stadium and skillfully turned that expectation into motivation. Rather than try to imitate his predecessor, Tino developed his own style, marked by power at the plate, steady defense, and a knack for delivering in key moments. In doing so, he began to turn cautious respect from the fans into genuine admiration. The 1996 season, his first with the Yankees, was a triumph. Tino contributed 25 home runs and 117 RBIs, helping the team win its first World Series since 1978. That title not only marked the Yankees' return to MLB's elite, but also cemented Martinez's role as a key figure in this new winning era. Playing alongside names like Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, and Paul O'Neill, Tino was part of the offensive core of a team that would go on to be considered one of the most dominant of its generation. His consistent production and calm demeanor fit perfectly with the team's philosophy: humility in speech, excellence in execution. The fans, in turn, embraced the new number 24 as a worthy successor to Mattingly, recognizing in him the same spirit of grit and competitiveness. Beyond the stats, what truly defined Tino Martinez's transition to the Yankees was his ability to adapt to the franchise's culture and play a vital role in its return to dominance. In a city where the spotlight is relentless, he stood out precisely because he didn't chase attention. He chased results. That mindset made him a quietly essential figure, a reliable pillar in high-pressure moments, especially in the postseason. His Yankees journey was just beginning, but already being written with confidence and success. A clear sign that the 1995 trade was not just a strategic move, but a symbolic one. Tino Martinez was the right man for a new golden era in the Bronx. The 1997 season marked a turning point in Tino Martinez's career, establishing him as a true star on the Major League Baseball stage. After 2 years of adaptation and rising success with the Yankees, Tino broke out offensively that year, putting up numbers that exceeded even the most optimistic expectations. He hit an impressive 44 home runs and drove in 141 runs, both career highs, placing him among the league leaders in several offensive categories. His consistency at the plate throughout the season made him a constant threat to opposing pitchers, and his knack for producing runs in clutch situations helped keep the Yankees in the thick of the division race. Tino's impact wasn't just reflected in the numbers, it was acknowledged by the league and the fans. In 1997, he earned his first ever All-Star Game selection, a well-deserved honor that confirmed his rise to elite status among MLB hitters. At the Midsummer Classic, held in Cleveland, Martinez proudly represented the Yankees and showed that his success was no fluke, but the product of talent, hard work, and discipline. He also finished the season as one of the top contenders for the American League MVP award, clear evidence of how vital he had become, not just to the Yankees, but to the broader landscape of MLB during that period, even with the Yankees. Early postseason exit in 1997, Tino Martinez's performance stood out as one of the year's top individual achievements. His immediate success in the Bronx not only cemented his place in the hearts of fans, but also proved that he was far more than a worthy successor to Don Mattingly. He was a leader in his own right. That year served as definitive proof that Tino wouldn't just survive the pressure of New York, he would thrive in it. He became a central figure in the dynasty that was being built, and his breakout in 1997 paved the way for the championships that would soon follow. Tino Martinez was an essential piece of the Yankees dynasty led by Joe Torre, playing a prominent role in the 4 World Series titles won between 1996 and 2000. In his first season in the Bronx, 1996, he helped end the franchise's 18-year championship drought, serving as one of the team's most consistent hitters throughout the year. Though he faced some struggles during the postseason, his presence as the everyday first baseman provided defensive stability and emotional balance to a roster that blended youth and experience. His ability to drive in runs at crucial moments, along with his steady fielding, made him one of the quiet cornerstones of that historic title in the following years. Especially 1998 and 1999, Tino established himself as an offensive force in one of the most feared lineups in baseball history. In 1998, a year when the Yankees won 114 regular season games and swept the Padres in the World Series, Martinez was instrumental in several games, including an iconic grand slam in Game 1 of the Fall Classic. That home run gave the Yankees the lead and momentum early in the series and became one of the most celebrated moments of their title run. In 1999, he remained a reliable presence at the plate and a clubhouse leader, maintaining high production levels despite ever-increasing expectations. His consistent offense and dependable defense made him the kind of player every championship team needs: reliable, experienced, and clutch under pressure. In 2000, when the Yankees claimed their 3rd straight title by defeating the Mets in the legendary Subway Series, Tino once again played a key role, contributing timely hits and veteran poise in crucial moments. Throughout this golden era of the franchise, he was one of the few players to consistently perform at a high level in every postseason campaign, regardless of the situation. His steady presence at first base, durability, and ability to deliver in big games made him a respected figure among teammates, opponents, and fans alike. Within the dynasty built under Joe Torre's leadership, Tino Martinez was more than just a supporting player. He was a quiet but vital protagonist. Tino Martinez built a reputation as a clutch performer, especially in October, the month when pressure peaks in Major League Baseball. Throughout his Yankees career, he delivered a string of memorable postseason performances, none more iconic than his grand slam in the 1998 World Series. In Game 1 against the San Diego Padres, with the Yankees trailing 5-2 and the bases loaded, Tino stepped up and crushed a powerful, precise swing into the Yankee Stadium stands, flipping the game and electrifying the crowd. That home run completely shifted the series' momentum, propelling the Yankees toward a dominant victory and cementing Tino as an October hero. Beyond that legendary moment, Martinez had several other clutch postseason performances that further solidified his legacy. In the dramatic 2001 World Series against the Arizona Diamondbacks, Tino delivered another unforgettable highlight. In Game 4, with the Yankees down to their final out in the bottom of the ninth, he launched a 2-run homer off closer Byung-Hyun Kim to tie the game in spectacular fashion. Moments later, Derek Jeter would win it with a walk-off homer, but it was Tino, who saved the night and reignited the hopes of Yankee fans. Although the Yankees ultimately lost that series in 7 games, Martinez's performance reinforced his reputation as a clutch hitter who could rise to the moment when it mattered most. These postseason heroics were not isolated. They were part of a consistent pattern throughout Tino's playoff career. Whether in the Division Series, the ALCS, or the World Series, he showed focus, poise, and the ability to deliver under pressure. His knack for rising to the occasion made him one of the most trusted players of the Yankees' golden era, and his clutch home runs became part of the franchise's rich history. While many players shine in the regular season, only a few can maintain that level when everything is on the line. Tino Martinez was one of those rare athletes. In every playoff appearance, he was a real threat at the plate, and his presence alone brought tension to opposing pitchers. Tino Martinez was admired for far more than his on-field stats. Over the course of his career, he earned a reputation built on ethics, professionalism, and a strong commitment to the game. In a clubhouse full of big personalities and media stars, Tino stood out precisely because of his calm, focused, and exemplary demeanor. He arrived early to practice, maintained a rigorous training routine, and paid close attention to both the technical and mental aspects of baseball. That behavior served as a model, especially for younger players who looked up to Martinez as an example of how to carry oneself in an organization steeped in tradition and high expectations like the Yankees. His leadership, though not defined by fiery speeches or dramatic gestures, was deeply felt in the team's daily life. Tino was the kind of leader who spoke little but influenced much through his actions. On the field, he played with passion in every moment, whether hitting a crucial RBI or diving to save a tough play at first base. Off the field, he built relationships based on mutual respect and collective accountability. Teammates like Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera often cited Martinez as a constant presence of balance and maturity in the locker room, someone who helped keep the group focused and unified even in the most turbulent times of the season. That respect for his professionalism extended beyond the diamond and was acknowledged by coaches, executives, and fans alike. Joe Torre, his manager during the Yankees' glory years, frequently praised Tino for his reliability and the example he set without ever seeking attention. Martinez never chased the spotlight, but he was instrumental in creating a winning culture, rooted in respect, hard work, and responsibility. His competitive spirit never veered into arrogance. Instead, it reflected a genuine determination to win and honor the uniform he wore. For all these reasons, Tino Martinez is remembered not only as a great player, but as a symbol of integrity and quiet leadership during the most successful era the Yankees have seen in decades. After a highly successful run with the Yankees, Tino Martinez left the Bronx at the end of the 2001 season, seeking new challenges in the final stretch of his career. In 2002, he signed with the St. Louis Cardinals, a franchise known for its strong tradition and passionate fan base. In St. Louis, Tino once again became the starting first baseman and brought with him all the experience of his championship years. In New York, although his numbers didn't reach the same heights as in previous seasons, he still produced consistently, recording 21 home runs and 75 RBIs in 2002, and became a key veteran presence in a clubhouse undergoing transition. His leadership and knowledge of the game were especially valuable to younger players like Albert Pujols, who was emerging as the team's new star. Tino stayed with the Cardinals for 2 seasons, from 2002 to 2003, and helped reinforce a culture of accountability and discipline under manager Tony La Russa. His time in St. Louis was marked by professionalism and steady effort, even as he faced the natural challenges of aging and adapting to a new environment. After the 2003 season, Martinez became a free agent and chose to return to his hometown by signing with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in 2004. Playing in Tampa represented a return to his roots for Tino, who had always maintained a strong connection to the local community. He embraced the opportunity not just as a player, but also as a chance to contribute to a young team in the area where he had grown up, in Tampa Bay. Even with the team still trying to find its competitive identity, Martinez managed to shine in several moments, including a stretch in 2004 where he homered in 5 consecutive games. Though the Devil Rays weren't in contention for championships, Tino brought stability, respect, and professionalism to the roster. At the end of the 2004 season, the Yankees offered him a 1-year contract, and in 2005, he returned to end his career where he had experienced his greatest triumphs, in the Bronx. His final season was filled with tributes from fans and celebrations of his legacy with the franchise. Tino Martinez officially retired at the end of 2005, leaving baseball as a respected player, not just for his numbers, but for his exemplary conduct at every stage of his career. Tino Martinez's return to the Yankees in 2005 carried deep symbolic meaning, both for the player and for the franchise. After his time with the Cardinals and Devil Rays, coming back to the Bronx was more than just another season. It was a formal farewell to one of the great icons of the Joe Torre era. Signing a 1-year deal, Tino was welcomed back with enthusiasm by fans who had never stopped recognizing his importance to the team's success in the previous decade. Even at an advanced age and in a more limited role, he still flashed his offensive power, including a memorable stretch in which he hit 6 home runs in 5 consecutive games in May. His presence on the 2005 roster was marked not only by timely contributions, but also by his positive influence in the clubhouse and the emotional connection he shared with fans. Though no longer the everyday starting first baseman, Tino embraced his role with the same seriousness he had always displayed throughout his career. He served as an informal mentor to younger players, sharing his experience in high-pressure situations and upholding the standards of professionalism that had always defined him. His work ethic remained unshakable, and the respect he inspired within the organization was as strong as ever. Returning to a now renovated Yankee Stadium felt like a reunion with one of the most glorious chapters of his own history. Each time he took the field, he was greeted with warm ovations from the crowd, a testament to his vital contributions during one of the most successful eras in franchise history. Even without raising another trophy, 2005 served as a fitting and emotional conclusion to a remarkable career. After officially retiring, Tino Martinez maintained his connection to the Yankees by accepting a role as an assistant hitting coach. In 2011, though brief, his coaching stint demonstrated his passion for the game and his desire to pass on his knowledge to the next generation. During this period, he was known for working closely with players, offering technical advice, strategic insights, and behind-the-scenes motivation. While he stepped down after just 1 season, his return as a coach once again symbolized the deep respect he continued to command within the organization. In that role, Tino concluded his baseball journey in the same way he had lived it, with humility, competence, and a legacy of respect, dedication, and victories that would remain in the memories of Yankees fans for years to come. Tino Martinez built a legacy that goes far beyond the statistics and numbers he accumulated throughout his career. He became a symbol of a golden era for the Yankees, marked by historic triumphs and the franchise's return to the top of the baseball world. For fans, Martinez represents the perfect combination of talent, effort, and humility, qualities that earned him not just respect, but genuine affection that has endured long after his playing days. His importance was further underscored by the way he embraced the challenge of replacing legends like Don Mattingly, proving he could be more than just a worthy successor. He could be a true protagonist with his own identity. That connection with fans, along with his direct contributions to 4 World Series championships in the 1990s, makes him an unforgettable figure in the club's history, aka Yankee Stadium. This admiration from fans is often reflected in tributes that highlight Tino's significance to the team's success. He is regularly honored at special events, ceremonies, and during game broadcasts, where commentators and former players highlight his contributions as one of the foundational pieces of the Joe Torre-led dynasty. Additionally, many fans keep the memory of his October heroics alive, especially the 1998 Grand Slam, which is often cited as one of the most thrilling moments of that era. The public's affection isn't limited to moments of glory, but extends to the recognition of his exemplary conduct on and off the field, which has served as inspiration for future generations of athletes. More than just a player, Tino Martinez is seen by Yankees fans as a true ambassador of the franchise. His image is tied to tradition, determination, and perseverance, values that define the spirit of the New York team. Even after his retirement, his presence is still felt, whether through nostalgic memories of unforgettable games or through the influence he continues to have on younger players entering the club and learning about his legacy. In this way, the bond between Tino and Yankees fans transcends time, ensuring that his name and legacy remain alive as part of the rich tapestry that makes up the history of one of the most iconic teams in all of sports. When reflecting on the career of Tino Martinez, it becomes clear that his legacy goes far beyond stats and trophies. He represents the value of consistent effort, humility, and quiet dedication, qualities that often go unnoticed in a world that prioritizes instant fame and loud stardom. Tino showed that being a leader doesn't necessarily mean being the loudest voice in the room, but rather being the one who, day after day, gives his all for the team, who leads by example, and who carries responsibility with pride. His journey reminds us that lasting success is built not just on talent, but on integrity and commitment to something greater than oneself. Another aspect worth highlighting is Tino's ability to handle the pressure of baseball's biggest stage, Yankee Stadium, where expectations are relentless. He faced the challenge of replacing a beloved icon, and instead of crumbling under the weight of comparisons, he wrote his own story, becoming one of the most clutch players of the Yankees' 1990s dynasty. His postseason heroics showcased not only his technical skill, but also his mental toughness and courage under intense pressure. That combination is what separates a good player from a true champion, and it's precisely that difference that has earned Tino such deep respect and admiration from fans. Moreover, his connection with Yankees fans shows just how much sports can be an emotional bridge, uniting generations and communities. Tino Martinez wasn't just an athlete, he became a symbol of perseverance and identity, capable of bringing people together around shared values like team pride and love for the game. In a time when instant gratification often overshadows the value of a meaningful journey, his example reinforces the importance of honoring those who, through effort and consistency, build solid and inspiring legacies. This connection between player and fan is what makes baseball, and sports in general, so special and meaningful. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you're alerted whenever new content is posted. Oh, and don't forget to leave a comment and share it with your friends. In the end, the story of Tino Martinez invites us to reflect on what it truly means to be a winner. It's not just the titles or the stats that define a champion, but how he faces every challenge, how he treats his teammates, and how he leaves a positive mark in everything he does. His legacy lives on because it extends beyond trophies. It's in the memories of fans, the respect of his peers, and the inspiration he provides to those striving to build a career with purpose and character. May Tino's journey serve as an example to all who aim to achieve great things, showing that Often, the quiet path is the most lasting and most valuable. Until our next journey, dear baseball-loving friends.